today I just thought I'll come here and say a few reasons that I've actually thought long about as to why immigrants and even those who are settled here are deciding to go back to their home country. Like for me, I'm really contemplating, or it's in the plans for me to return home at some point. And if peradventure I decide to move back home, these are the reasons that have actually contributed to me wanting to move back home to Nigeria. How soon that would be, I don't know, but it's definitely in the books for me that at some point I'll be returning back to Nigeria. So before I dive into the reasons why I believe immigrants and someone like me might want to go back to Nigeria, I've got 3 of those reasons and I'm going to be sharing them with you. But before I start with them, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe, turn on the post notification, and also share this video so you don't miss any other posts from me. All right, so without wasting much of your time, let's dive into the reasons. So the first reason why I believe immigrants are leaving the UK, or yeah, I'll say leaving the UK, let's be focused on the UK alone, is that tax. Like, tax is killing in this country. As long as you are employed, you have no control about how much tax comes out of your wages. However, there are some tax and income rates and bans. So the tax and rates, they are being banned. So I'm just going to be sharing the information with you right here. So there's something they call tax-free personal allowance, and it said that the standard personal allowance is £12,570, which is the amount of income you do not have to pay tax on. So whatever job you are doing and you are earning exactly £12,570 per annum, you won't have to pay any tax at all. Or even if you're just earning a little bit over £12,570, you would not be taxed. However, if at any time in the year that you are working you earn over £12,570, you will start to pay tax. So the tax payment is graded into different rates and bands. So there's a band called personal allowance. So the personal allowance is any amount you earn up to £12,570. So any job you do where you earn up to £12,570, you will not pay any tax. So if you earn £8,000, £9,000, £12,000, £12,570, you will not pay tax at all if this is all you earn per annum. Then there's something they call basic rate. So basic rate, any income you earn from £12,571 to £50,270. So any money over £12,570 to £50,270 per annum, you will pay 20% tax, which is the threshold I fall into. So my annual income at my work is £28,000, and which means that I am paying, my tax rate is 20%. So anything I earn monthly, 20% is going to go towards my tax. And then there's something they called IR rate. IR rate is any money you earn that is over £50,000, £271, up onto £125,140. So if you earn between £52,000 up onto £125,000, you'll be paying 40% tax. And then additional rates, if your annual salary exceeds £125,140 yearly, you'll be paying 45% tax. So for me, I pay 20% because my annual salary is about 28,000 plus. So I've got my pay slip here, and I'm not going to be showing you everything, but I'm just going to be letting you know my pay slip for the month of May. Yeah, so my annual salary is £30,229 per annum. That's what I'm supposed to be earning as for this year, based on working hours of 37.5 hours a week. So every month my salary totals to £2,647.54. That is how much I would earn before tax, before any deduction. However, my income tax deduction for the month of May was £283.37. That is how much tax I'm paying on £2,647 that I'm meant to earn every month. Then I am paying national insurance, which was £191.94. This comes every month. And then I have my superannuation of 7.3%, which I'm paying towards my pension, I believe. And that one is £183.96. So normally if you're working full-time, your employer will automatically enroll you into your pension scheme, you know. So, and then obviously because I've already studied before my first degree, I studied using the student loan. So the student loan company are taking back the amount I borrowed to study. So now they've taken off £30. So at the end of the day, the total deduction was £689.27, and my take-home pay was £1,958.27. Like, I'm going to show you guys so you can see it at the bottom. So this is what it is. So that's all of my deductions there. Yeah, so the tax is one of the reasons why people are leaving United Kingdom. It's just, I just felt it's a lot. There are some people, especially people who are earning like 50,000, 7,000. You can imagine 40% of your salary coming out of your money. So it's a lot of money. And at some point, I used to say to myself that should I just cut my hours and not work full time? Because maybe it's because I'm working full time. So maybe I should just reduce my hours so that I don't earn more than the personal allowance. But then, if you really want to achieve something of your existence here in the UK, you want to work over that personal allowance. So that's the number one reason I believe people are leaving the UK. And number two thing will be the rise in cost of living. Like, the rise in cost of living that is happening now, I've not seen it in a long time. Like I said, I've been in the United Kingdom for 17 years now. And in the 17 years, I have not actually said I'm struggling. I did an interview with BBC, and I will try and find the link to the article, and I'll put it in the description box so you can go read on it. So I did an interview with them about the increase in the cost of living crisis, and now it's impacting someone like me with 5 children. Like, you know, the amount we spend on food, the amount we spend on electricity, like, you know, from the kind of electricity in my current flat, it's like a pay as you go. So before all of this madness of inflation and cost of living crisis, I used to be able to top up my electricity of £30 every week. Now we are doing over £120 every week. So monthly my husband tops up the meter with about £250, and if at the end of the month, if I go on to check the meter, maybe we only have like £20 left. So we've gone up to spending less than £200 every month on electricity to spending over £250 on electricity every month, which is a lot. And I would imagine, and I believe and I know that would increase come winter period, because we have to put on the heating. When we wash our clothes, we need to use the tumble dryer to dry our clothes. So yeah, cost of food is rising a lot. And I know some people, even though they work full time, they still have to use the food bank. They go to the food bank to get, like, you know, food in the can. They get, like, all of these charity organizations are helping in terms of, you know, helping with food. But as an African, I'm used to eating African dishes, and they don't give African dishes at the food bank. So you can use food bank for other things like shampoo, moisturizers, soaps, and stuff like that. However, I know immigrants like me would not want to go and queue on the queue at the food bank to get stuff. So rather than because we are full of pride, yeah, immigrants, Africans, we are full of pride. We won't want to be on the queue to go and start queuing for all of these things. So I believe the cost of living crisis is one of the reasons why Africans or immigrants are leaving to go back to their country. And for me, I would say as long as I have my job, it's something I can continue to manage and live well with. However, some people might not be in the same position as I am. So yeah, cost of living is reason number 2. Immigrants are leaving the United Kingdom. And reason number 3 is the mighty word of racism. Yes, racism is one of the biggest reasons why people are leaving, because for immigrants it's like a culture shock for them. I understand back home in Nigeria we have tribalism where Yorubas, Igbos, like, you know, where the Yorubas are, like, you know, bullshitting the Igbos, and, you know, where all of the tribes are kind of like going against each other. And I actually saw the bigger side of tribalism amongst Nigerians during this past election process. You could see it everywhere, even in the comment sections. You could hear people, you know, Igbo people bashing Yoruba people bashing Igbo people, some Yoruba people saying that an Igbo person can never be a president in Nigeria. You know, tribalism is in Nigeria. However, you know that it's your own country, so if it happens, you can always fight back. No police, no Olopa will pick you up for it. But here in the UK, racism is happening a great deal. It's happening in workplaces, it's happening in schools, and I've shared a story of when my daughter was racially abused at the age of 8 when she was in primary school. I'm going to link that card of the video up here, and trust me, as a Nigerian parent, I wrote to the school and I complained about it. They were like, they dealt with it, and I'm like, no, you did not deal with it the way I thought it should have been dealt with. I wrote to the education minister as well to complain, and they kind of like, they are in agreement with the school. I still was not satisfied as a parent, so I wrote the Scottish public something. It's called SPSO. If I find the full meaning, I'll pop it in the screen for you. It's like an ombudsman for anything or any complaint relating to schools. So I wrote to them saying that this was what happened, this was what happened, and I stated things that need to be put in place in cases like that. And I wrote about 5 things that they had to consider when things like this happen, and they upheld 3 of those things, which means that they agreed that 3 of those things I mentioned should be put in place when racism happens in school to, you know, ethnic children. So with that, I'm quite happy. So racism happens everywhere. It happens in workplaces, in schools. You know, you will know, for you to recognize a place that racism will most likely happen, when you go to a work environment and the population of ethnic people to British people is like on 90% to 10%. Be very, very careful. Racism is bound to happen there. As for me, I have experienced it a few times, but I've always stood my ground. I've always faced the person like, no, you can't do that to me. Nah, it's not allowed. Especially when they hear you speaking English. When they hear you speaking English. My former area that I used to live at, there was a time I was on the bus and they were saying something. I can't remember what the person did to me. And I was like, don't you dare. That was my response to the boss, like, don't you dare. And then one of them like, oh, she can speak English. And you know what? My head just like bang 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 bang. So you think that it's every black people that you see on the street that does not know how to speak English, that we can't communicate fluently, you know. So racism happens quite a lot, and I understand that, you know, people in their 40s or even in their 30s that are coming to this country to either work or study, it's like a culture shock to them that they just can't stand the fact that people will speak to them anyhow because of the color of their skin. And for me, when it happened to my daughter, it took me a great deal, it took me a great while to get over the fact that my child, or a child as young as that, could experience something. And so I, like, you know, I always say to my kids that if this happens, this is what you should do. And I always warn them that don't ever be the first person to raise your fist against anybody. If any of them raise their fist against you first, make sure you make use of this very well, so that when they call me, I can say to them that yes, I am happy with what you've done. So those are the 3 things, or the 3 reasons I felt immigrants are leaving the United Kingdom. And don't be surprised tomorrow if I come back here and tell you that I'm going back home to Nigeria, because I've just had enough. Anyway guys, drop your comment, drop your opinions in the comment section. Do you have any contribution to make to these reasons why you think immigrants are leaving the United Kingdom? Like I said, the tax that people pay, you know, racism, and then the cost of living is on the high. So this is the end of my video guys. If this video makes sense to you, do let me know in the comment section. Are you planning to sakpa back to Nigeria, or what's your plan? Drop it in the comment section for me. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you're yet to do so, turn on the post notification as well so you don't miss any other posts from me, and don't forget to share this video as well. Help my ministry to grow, and I shall see you in my next video. All right, bye.